You are now rocking with the Cool Cats and me, the D.E.V. Now we all know that cats are the most finicky animals in the world. Scratch that. The most finicky animals in the universe. But yet and still, we take them into our homes and try to make them our friends. And even with that, they have the nerve to be so finicky. Isn't that something? To the point where even when you try to give them some affection, some attention, petting on them and stuff, they have the audacity to be finicky about that. They finicky about where they want it, how they like it, all this stuff. I never heard of such. But anyway, so today, what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to share with y'all the proper areas where you're supposed to pet your cat, technically speaking. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm just a knucklehead from Capitol Heights, Maryland, with some raggedy cats. If you want to check out, and I recommend to check out my man Jason Galaxy. He is technically an expert. I'm not like him where, I think he's a cat behaviorist. He got degrees and all this stuff. I'm not that. But what I am is, what I will tell you about me as a person is all my life I've been extremely analytical. Everybody in my circle, everybody who ever come in contact with me, they will tell you I know a lot about a lot. So if I get my hooks in a subject matter, I will research, study that thing to the ends of the earth. And so even though I'm not technically an expert, before I even got cats, I spent 6 months studying this stuff to be sure I was prepared. It's just how my mind works. And then I've had cats for 7 years. So I do have 7 years of experience, but I'm the type of technical dude that even for those who may have had cats 20 or 30 years, you might can get something from me. But I gotta to lay the ground correctly. I am not Jason Galaxy. I learn a lot from the guy. That's part of who I research, and how I do my research is that guy. Big up to Jason Galaxy. So listen, I've got an idea. Instead of talking about what you're supposed to do, don't y'all think it'd be more fun to talk about what you're not supposed to do? Hey, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit subscribe and notifications so that you don't miss any future content. Now they say that you're not supposed to pet your cat legs and stuff. That's what they say. I was told that you're supposed to leave their tail alone. You're not supposed to rub their belly. They can't stand that. And you're definitely not supposed to play with their ears. Cats really don't like when you kiss on them. Now let's talk about where you're supposed to pet them. Now cats love to be scratched on their chin. They like that. They love it on their temple. Robin, cats supposed to love it on their temple. They love it on their temple. And they love the base of the tail. See? Isn't this boring? And let's keep it real. Some cats don't even like to be pet. They don't even want to be bothered with you. As a matter of fact, the way they look at you is they despise you. They you get on their nerves. They wonder why you even around. I had a friend that this was a long time ago, but I had a friend that had a cat. This was a real long time ago. I was in college in Baltimore, Morgan State. Uh, but she had this cat, and every time I would come in over there, the cat would be standing in a corner like this. And for the first 2 or 3 times, I thought it was like a statue, like like decoration. I didn't know the cat was real, cause you just glance, you're not staring at it, and the cat didn't really move. And so after a while, I realized this was a cat, and she told me, it was like, yeah, well, we don't bother her, and she don't bother us. We feed the cat, and you know, I was like, what is the point? You know what I'm saying? But the cat didn't allow nobody in the household to pet it. And so this is not an isolated situation. I mean, there are situations that I've heard of now. I'm speaking of one that I experienced firsthand, but I've heard of situations where this where you don't really pet the cat. The cat is just there. You know what I mean? So I don't know, y'all. I don't know why we do this. Why we deal with these jokers, man. But anyway, another thing about petting a cat is that most of the time now we going into where to pet the cat, how to pet the cat, what the cat like, what the cat don't like, all this stuff. But 9 times out of 10, you not even approaching the cat to pet the cat. The only really time you pet the cat is when they feel like it, right? And depending on the cat, is not, some cats that's very rare or not very often. I'll say it that way. So this is, this is the pets we choose. And I think, you know what I really think? And I'm just gonna be straight up with y'all. Y'all gonna learn this about me if you don't already know. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. What I really believe is that all of us that have cats, myself included. Excuse me, do you mind? Thank you. All of us that have cats, myself included, we need to have our heads examined. Because why would you have a pet that don't want to be a pet? I'm just saying. Now, of course, this is not all cats, and this is not all the time. Some of y'all don't get y'all draws in a knot out there. Some of y'all super galactical cat lovers. Because I'm a super galactical cat lover myself. As I said, I'm just keeping it real. But like sometimes when my cats approach me to be pet, I can't remember from that time, from the last time to that time when they did it. That's why, and I'm gonna give y'all my philosophy on this later, but that's why I don't wait for them. If I'm feeling the funk, I'll just grab them and pet them or kiss them or whatever I feel like doing. Now, let me give y'all my philosophy on this stuff, okay? And this got a lot to do with, I guess, where I come from and how I was raised. All right. Now, if if the cat's living in my house, I'm spending money feeding them. I'm doing all this stuff every day. The least they could do is put up with me. I'm putting up with them. They gotta put up with me. So the way I see it, it's a lot of cats that's homeless in shelters and stuff like that. If the least these cats had to worry about is me rubbing on their stomach, then they some lucky cats. That's how I look at it. It's just like any other relationship. If you got a significant other or what have you, you may not like everything that they do or everything about them, but you take the good with the bad. So, from me, the DEV, how I look at this thing, you see, is that if I'm feeling them, because it comes out of love and all that stuff anyway. If I'm feeling them like that and I grab them and I rub them or touch them or throw them up in the air and catch them and spin them around or whatever I do, they got a good home. What do y'all think? Plus, my cats are nuts anyway. Now remember to treat your animals well. They didn't ask to be there with you, but now all they have is you. Treat them like family. Fam.